Hello, everybody. Looks like we have a tornado, or had a tornado. It's hard to tell through this rain, but it was fully condensed just moments ago. And we still have a large lowering on this storm. This is a tornado warning storm here in Kansas, where we have a tornado on the ground in progress. Is a bull funnel right now, but it's probably still lofting debris there. There's our area of rotation that is further moving down to the south towards Coolidge, Midway, and Syracuse here in Kansas. If you guys live in this area, I'd be ready to go out into your safe spots there in Coolidge, Midway, and Syracuse. And then back up here, that is where our potential tornado is located. And right here, this is Garrett, Storm Media. And we're trying to confirm whether or not this thing is still in progress. Yeah, there's definitely still a large lowering in there. And could still have some ground circulation. Trying to see here. There's just a little bit of rain wrapping around. Let me check from another perspective. Yeah, as of right now, Storm Runner Media has the best view of this thing, albeit a little bit. Let me see if I can change the color correction on this and maybe give us a little bit of a better view back in there. You can see that little thing off to the left. That was a tornado and still could be a tornado. It's not fully condensed right now, though. Oh, man, this road is getting flooded. Look at that out in front of them. Yeah, if you're just now tuning in, we're talking about this storm right here. Got an area of some pretty strong rotation within this storm, and it is moving down to the south. It's booking it towards Coolidge, Midway, and Syracuse, Kansas. They are probably about to extend this tornado warning further down to the south into pretty close to Midway and Syracuse. Again, this is in western Kansas, kind of in the central western portion of Kansas, moving down to the south, where we have a severe thunderstorm warning out over here. And this is the view. Still something back in that rain on the left side there. Do you guys see it? As far as I can see, I can't tell if there's still ground circulation or not, but it still definitely seems like we have at least a half condensed tornado or a funnel or something happening in there. Yeah, there was a tornado on the ground briefly. But it's kind of hard to tell what's happening inside of this rain core, this hail and rain core right now. Make sure. Yeah, that's the latest here. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to Rain Wrapped Can't See Anything. Yeah, let me go back where it popped out for just a brief moment so you guys can see what we're dealing with here. So if I go back, see the life cycle of this thing. It was right here. You see, it came all the way down to the ground. It was a cone tornado. And it stayed on the ground for a decent amount of time. I am not sure, though, what is currently happening inside of this storm. It looks like we have another little mesocyclone maybe trying to develop off to the right side of the storm. So maybe that is starting to occlude. That original circulation is starting to occlude. And maybe a new one could form maybe a little bit further to the south. So I'll have to keep an eye on that area as well. But again, if you live in Coolidge, Midway, and Syracuse here in Kansas, these are the only storms right now in our outlooked area that are impressive, like in terms of a tornado threat. Everything up here is either going to be a hail or damaging wind threat. Storms over here in New Mexico have yet to have, really getting their act together. They should try to do so as they get closer to Amarillo a little bit later in the day, where we could also have a small chance for tornadoes with those guys as well. We do have chasers down there chasing those storms. Let me get Pagey Tornado up. I think she is in Texas, or close to those storms. So let me just get them at least up on the screen, just in case they see anything. There we go. The outflow boundary passed it. On this storm, it's let me check. Yeah, it's kind of still wrapped in there. It's hard to tell. As far as I can tell, though, it does kind of still seem wrapped into that mesocyclone as we speak. Amarillo by midnight. Let me check the latest models on Amarillo for you real quick. Deposit. I mean, our latest models are saying these storms that are out over there right now are really going to be the main threat, and they're going to last for a little bit, then kind of fall apart pretty quickly. So, and these ones over here in Kansas are kind of our main threat. We also have some 70-mile-per-hour winds with this storm off to the north of Scott City, heading into Dighton, and also the potential for some golf ball-sized hail. So if you live in Scott City and Dighton, Kansas, please be indoors and well away from windows. And yeah, this storm is continuing to push down to the south and east here with some baseball-sized hail and 70-mile-per-hour winds. This is a destructive severe thunderstorm warning that is currently moving down to the south. Hello, hello, welcome to the stream. Hopefully everybody's having a good day. Get that music back on. As the tornado is lifted, and I gotta change my title for now. Hello, hello, welcome to the stream. Definitely was not expecting a stream today. Yeah, this could be a very, very brief stream, to be honest. This storm produced a tornado for what seemed to be a couple of seconds to like a couple of minutes, just depending on just how long it was on the ground. After it got rain wrapped, because we couldn't really see that ground circulation too much. But I mean, if these storms fall apart, this one's only going to be a damaging wind threat for the most part. And then, you know, our only other tornado threat could happen over here, you know, over here in the northwestern portion of Texas, in my opinion, because they're probably not going to make it down to Amarillo, to be honest. Let me get chat up as well. Hello, hello. Has the hurricane status changed since? A little bit. They've added a 20% here and a 0% over 2 days and 20% over 7 days. There's still very low confidence in that. Models still aren't really showing much. I actually don't know why they even introduced that. I think it's a little bit early in my opinion. This thing back over here, 70% chance still. And you can still see it's looking pretty healthy. Latched onto that boundary, still hasn't unlatched from it yet, and then we've got a 40% chance now over the South Atlantic Ocean, kind of near the equator there from our little wave that's coming off of Africa right now. So a little bit of changes, a little bit of an increase over there, and a little bit of an increase over here, and an addition of a 20% over the next 7 days down there. What's the deal with Minneapolis later this week? Well, we're going to have pretty much the best way to think about it is we're going to have a high pressure. Do this. We're going to have a high pressure down here and then some flow aloft to the north of it. And then we're going to have a low pressure up in Canada, which is going to bring that flow to the south of it. And then where those winds kind of diverge or kind of move away from each other, we're going to have a lot of lift back out in this area. So we could either have maybe a derecho threat if things get organized just in the right way. We could have maybe a tornado threat. Still a little bit murky, you know, it's July, it's still going to be relatively mesoscale. But if we get some, discrete supercells near boundaries, you guys know what can happen. Maybe those New Mexico storms could do something. It's possible. See what this storm is doing. Still a little bit of circulation. You can see that's, if I can, it seems like this is the outflow boundary. And that little area of circulation appears to be in the clear air in the inflow of the storm. This back in here is likely to be hail contamination. That doesn't really make sense, having that strong of rotation behind on the backside. And look at that. They just let this tornado warning expire. Okay. Maybe we shouldn't have gone live. I mean, the tornado was on the ground for a brief moment, so I wanted to go live for it, but it isn't. It was on the ground for such a brief moment and over a field. I guess that's how July works. Hello, welcome to the stream. This is still a dangerous storm, though, by the way, over here near Syracuse, heading down to the south towards Coolidge, Midway as well. And then this one back over here is still pretty dangerous with some 70-mile-per-hour winds. So some power outages, some large hail. Could be also possible. Let's go back and check in on Storm Under Media. See what's happening. Oh, what's going on with the desktop audio? Okay, desktop audio is glitching. Let me fix that.
We're starting to get out of the rain now for good.
This is what the storm looks like now. This is pretty close to where the actual mesocyclone would be.
On the pavement, you have no idea how happy I'm gonna be. Be one happy guy if we can get to the pavement, but we've been on these dirt roads from the start. It feels like.
You know, you just got to think about it like this, Moss. You know, it's hail. It's a solid piece of ice, and the radar beams can go inside of it and bounce off of it, all kind of weird, wonky ways, kind of confusing the radar. These roads have been pretty nasty. Let me see if we go back, if we can actually see anything. Like with this little cloud here. That's about as little rotation as you can really see in that cloud. Oh, wow. There's a lot of motion over here. Wow. And some pretty strong winds. It's not tornado warned right now, but shoot, if this thing starts to consolidate a new mesocyclone, they might throw a new one on there. So I wouldn't let your guard down yet in Syracuse, Medway, and Coolidge, but I will say, noting on radar, it's looking a little messy, but messy storms can still sometimes produce. And thank you, Debbie, for becoming a member for 3 months. Thank you so much. Or for being a member for 3 months. There's Garrett, the myth, man, and legend. And Freddie. Man, that cloud right in front of us is really moving. This thing is warned for 70-mile-per-hour winds, and it kind of looks like a storm that would have that. To be fair, this is a dirt country road. They're not blocking traffic because there is no traffic to block.
All right, Chad, we might have something back here with the meso.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
New tornado warning has been issued.
It's over there.
On our storm for Coolidge, Medway, and Syracuse. If you guys live in that area, you guys need to be in your safe spots. It's got a radar indicated tornado warning, 2-inch hail also possible. Again, that's heading towards Coolidge and Medway. You guys need to be in your safe spots. And that's going to be for these areas of circulation, right in that area.
We can only take this road all the way down to Syracuse, but the problem is we're
Let's see what this storm looks like from Dodge City.
Yeah, I think it's back. There's got to be something in here with this occlusion.
I don't know about all that. There's a lot of hail back there. This could easily just be hail contamination. That could be legitimate signal, though. It's just kind of hard to tell because our radar is pretty far away.
Yeah,
Let's see if we can see anything back in this rain.
Is it on the ground still? Yeah, I mean, stream, you know, is a tad delay, but yeah. Yeah.
And Connor's reporting that that circulation back in there is legitimate.
Don't know if I should proceed here.
He's a little bit further into side of the storm.
I have no idea, to be honest with you, but I do know we said it was still heading south.
But I don't see anything on his stream. I'm looking at it right now. Let me see if anything pops out of it.
Pretty rain wrapped. I'm starting to get it where I can't see it now in this video either.
Yeah, I could never see anything for sure. There was, oh wait, never mind. Yes. No, it was definitely on the ground. I went back in his stream.
Wind is certainly starting to gust here, that's for sure.
Yeah, so the tornado is actually, by these storm chaser reports, the tornado is actually back in here. So this is the tornado here, and it's likely still on the ground. So that is not hail contamination. And again, this is on the ground, and it looked like a multi-vortex tornado for a second. And it looked like it was, and then it got completely rain wrapped. And we don't have a visual on it right now, but it's moving down to the south towards Medway and Syracuse. So make sure that you guys are in your safe spots. Again, this is a tornado that is back on the ground. Let's see if Garrett ever gets a sneak peek of this thing. Yeah, he's getting closer to where that tornado was.
To take lead, but yeah, it's starting to shake my car pretty good.
I think it would be back in that rain. That looks similar to what.
The RFD, I just don't know if it's like heading more southwest. This road's like sketchy to the point where I just don't trust it.
Right, that's my fear. If it wants to bolt itself southwest.
What direction are they going? Are they going south? Near Athens. Yeah, near Athens. Yeah, there is a storm near you. It's not severe, but it is trying to get its act together a little bit. I wouldn't rule out some small hail. Man, these winds are actually pretty strong. I wouldn't be surprised if some of these power poles even came down.
I knew Velocity's signature. I'm gonna stop here for a second.
Oh, brother.
Oh yeah, really strong winds. Oh boy. Yeah, they're like right next to the circulation. Jeez. Very strong wind.
I'm gonna go back north, Garrett.
Yeah, there's probably something still back in there with all that wind like that. Yeah, let me show you guys the radar again. This is our latest radar update. There's that area of strong rotation, still likely potentially a strong tornado in progress. Again, on another Chaser's stream earlier, this was a multi-vortex, and then it turned into like kind of a cone tornado, and then it became fully rain and hail wrapped. And just judging by the wind that we just saw on Storm Runner Media's stream, I would say that that's most likely still on the ground, heading down towards Medway and Syracuse. Again, the circulation itself is kind of stalling. It's really not moving that much. It's kind of still in the same area. It's getting kind of left behind by our storm, which is pretty weird movement for this kind of environment. But yeah, another thing that we're watching out for is a new area of circulation to try to redevelop back over here in this area. We're not seeing that yet. Again, our tornado is located back in this area north of Medway.
How's this road look going back west?
How am I doing with the weather starting to cool down? I'm doing awesome. I love it.
Looks pretty good to me.
Yeah, the problem with this tornado is that it's probably got deviant motion, because it is pretty stationary. It might be doing loop-de-loops. And Garrett's and Freddy are very, very close to this circulation, so just keep your eyes peeled. It might just pop out of the rain. Trying to see if we can confirm it's still on the ground or not. And it's also baseball-sized hail in this storm still. Or no, hen egg-sized hail now. They did downgraded it. Looks like they're starting to maybe get some... Oh yeah, there's some hail falling now. Yeah, the rain will probably clear out as the tornado gets closer to them.
Yeah, there is. I mean, it should be like just to our west here.
So keep your eyes peeled.
Maybe a hair south now.
Let me turn off this music since we have a tornado on the ground. And it's somewhere back in there.
Chad's probably somewhere in the middle over there on those power lines. Somewhere. We don't know where, but somewhere down there where you can't see. That's where.
All right. Well, sorry. I want to give you guys a new update on our latest radar scan. Still some pretty decent rotation. Still very possible that this could be on the ground still as this moves down to the south. Again, towards Medway and Syracuse. Again, this area of circulation, if I pause it and just kind of go back and forth, you can see it's kind of got left behind by the storm as it occluded into the parent supercell, but it still likely has a tornado on the ground, and we're starting to see maybe a new circulation think about getting developed down there. But man, I struggle to believe that this storm can do it again after that circulation lifts, but we'll see.
At some point, there's just a tornado in there.
Yeah, it's still pretty decent rotation inside of the storm right now. Definitely worth still being in your safe spots there in Medway and Syracuse. Also some 70-mile-per-hour winds, and hen egg-sized hail is coming your way as well.
On our way south.
Again, this is in Kansas.
Whatever the supposed tornado is down that
No
way.
CC drop as far as I can tell.
About 2 miles down that way. So it's away from us right now.
How's Wyoming doing? Wyoming's doing pretty good, I think. I don't think you guys got much going on. You got some storms in your neighboring state in Nebraska, but nothing really too much to note. A little storm over there south of Cody, Wyoming as well.
And I'm sure it's scary for some.
And if there was something on the ground, it would probably pop out of the rain to the left of the road. And there's still enough rotation to support a tornado on the ground at this moment, so it wouldn't completely surprise me if the rain cleared out a little bit if we saw something. So keep your eyes peeled.
Nerve-wracking, thrilling. I don't know.
Okay, new little update here. We just got an extension of our severe thunderstorm warning further down to the south. Here in Kansas, storm just went through Dighton and Scott City and is now heading pretty close to Jetmore and Garden City with those 70-mile-per-hour winds and golf ball-sized hail. So please continue to be indoors and away from windows if you live near this storm. This is still a pretty strong storm there. Let me make sure we're on the current view for Pagey. We're going to get behind every now and then. Yeah, they're still trying to catch up to a storm back over here in New Mexico, as far as I can tell. They're still in the same area. I think they are. Check this radar. Yeah, this radar shows the rotation pretty much gone, but this is the only one that's still got an eye on that rotation.
It's gotta be over there, guys.
Yeah, the environment over near Scott City and Dighton, that's an elevated environment. I'm not expecting tornadoes over there. Something popping out of the rain there. What is that?
Let's see. Do you see anything suspicious over there? Because that's my only assumption as to why he stopped. Got nobody coming. We're good.
And the winds on this storm is still pretty strong. You see them streaming across the road there. Definitely seems around 60 to 70 mile per hour winds for sure.
My new scan said that this couplet is literally 2.5 miles to our southeast. Literally in the middle of this rain-wrapped mess. The new couplet I'm seeing is about 2.5 miles to our southeast.
Oh, nice. Slow motion vid. Was that like a lightning shot? Is it still on the ground? Not sure. Not sure. The last time we saw it was from another chaser's perspective that we weren't using. Rotation still supports it. But it is slowly getting weaker and weaker. We just got our latest scan in. And there's our circulation right there. Storm intermedia is like right over somewhere in this area. And so they're still really close to that circulation. That's why we're watching them so closely, to see if we can get a sneak peek of this thing, maybe roping out or see if it's still on the ground. But there's still enough rotation there technically to support a tornado still being on the ground. And then still watching down here to see if another circulation will get started. But so far, this kind of looks like a mess, which just an including tornado right now. This storm, you know, I'm wondering if that tornado ever lifted. You know, when we were looking at it from Garrett's perspective at the beginning of the stream to now, I wonder if, even though it didn't look condensed, if it was still on the ground and then just planted another one. Or if it was like another circulation entirely. Yeah, Syracuse still needs to be in their safe spots. Also, Midway in Kansas. Yeah, they're very close.
It's what we call hook slicing or maneuvering. Hook maneuvering, hook slicing.
They're very close to this rotation right now. Again, if it was still on the ground, it would pop out of the rain on the left.
See what's on the other side. It's kind of what we're
So
doing.
keep your eyes peeled. Oh, nice. The tsunami stream was scary. Yeah, it was. I think we were all scared. That was frightening, man. And I wasn't even there. Hopefully, we don't have to deal with that ever again this year. They're pretty rare. So the next time we do a tsunami stream like that, shouldn't be within the next 5 years.
Starting again in front of this
Although,
bucket. See,
I did ask...
all
Grok the other day if ice melt could help trigger early earthquakes. Like, not necessarily cause it, but the weight change. Because you got to think about it, like, you know, when you got like ice all up in these mountains and stuff, and then ice over here in the Arctic Ocean, you got to think like all of that is weight that is just static. It stays there, doesn't move. But once it moves and turns into melt water, and then all kind of pours into this area, you know, potentially enough poundage out of that. Trillions of pounds of water goes into the ocean each year, or a trillion pounds of water goes in the ocean each year. And I wonder if they'll like help. Maybe like this earthquake wouldn't have happened like this year, but maybe like 3 years from now if it wasn't for all that melt water. Oh, looks like the rain's starting to clear out. I think Greenland melts like it's melted like 11 trillion pounds of water over like the last 10 years as well. So there's a lot of weight getting redistributed into the ocean is going to be putting small amounts of stress, but maybe enough to trigger push an earthquake over the edge like a year to 3 years early. That's misinformation. It is not. Any shift of the weight above the crust is going to affect how the crust interacts, and it causes earthquakes.
Pretty nice looking storm, Chad, huh? It's a pretty nice.
I wasn't asking it for climatological information. I was asking it to do some equations for me and get me some data.
Oh, it's nice to be back in the sunlight all over again.
Yeah, this appears to be our new mesocyclone, maybe trying to develop out in front of here. You can see that rain and hail core off on the left side.
Car definitely needs a car wash after today, Chad.
Let me check the radar to see. We still got anything of interest, or if that's gone. We're getting a weird scan right where that was, but there's like a new area of rotation developing right here, which again, doesn't, most of the time we would look at that and be like, that's hail contamination, but that's literally what just happened with this storm that was further up to the north. So gotta watch this new area of rotation for another new tornado near Syracuse and Medway. Still need to be in their safe spots here in Kansas. Also back over here, storm is pushing down to the south here as well. South of Dighton. Maybe a little area of some interesting rotation over here developing, but that's kind of in a weird spot. We'll see how that develops, but we definitely still have some stronger winds on the southern side of this, heading towards Jetmore. And a little bit of rotation trying to develop. Our outflow boundary is here. Anything north of it, not going to be a problem, but this is actually kind of right next to that outflow boundary, so we will have to monitor that as well for some tornado potential. Let's come back over to Storm Owner Media as that rain continues to kind of go away.
Hopefully that hail core starts to die off a little bit and we can punch.
No, I don't have the paid version, no.
Way, chat, that we're going to be able to get in front of this thing again is that we're going to have to punch through this storm. I really don't know if I feel like, that's why I got to do what I got to do, but I don't know if I want to break the windshield already.
Man, this storm still looks pretty gnarly.
Okay, this is a bridge. All right.
Again, this storm is warned for hen egg sized hail and 70-mile-per-hour winds. So continue to be indoors and away from windows at the very least for that threat in Medway and Syracuse, Kansas.
Definitely a very beautiful storm, though. No doubt about it.
Was the storm this elevated before? Didn't really get many looks of it before they got like really close to the storm. But it is a little elevated. It could be more surface based in the rain though, but again, like this is a weird storm. The outflow boundary should be to the south of this storm, but the last tornado that happened when this storm latched onto the outflow boundary, but then just kept going behind the outflow boundary, just due to the motion that the storm had already before. And that has completely occluded and likely lifted at this point, but I just want to make sure 100% once we get a new radar scan from the Goodland radar. Yeah, I think it has lifted just by radar.
At some point.
So I'm gonna change the wording on my title. We still have a tornado warning ongoing as this continues to push down to the south towards Syracuse. Although that little area of rotation that was happening here seems to have been hail contamination. So that one might have actually just been hail contamination. It didn't really last that long, which makes me believe that it's contaminated. And this circulation is trying to tighten up a little bit. Just to the north and west of Jetmore. It's still kind of in a weird area of the storm. I guess you could make the argument. Let me see how this has kind of come together here. We just got like this honestly a storm with just so much mass, all kind of in these same areas. And when you have that, you got a lot of these little boundaries interacting with each other, a lot of little winds that are interacting with each other. Sometimes you can get some weird behavior. And there is a little area of rotation trying to develop in kind of a weird spot, but I guess just looking at it, you can definitely tell there is an embedded supercell in there. And it is kind of to the south of this outflow boundary, so it's interesting. And we got a big old merger from Jetmore about to move up to the north. I believe, yeah, it's about to be merged in with this storm as well, which might send some stronger winds back over into the storm, which might be why we're seeing a little bit of an area of rotation develop here south of Alamata. It's a weird storm. It's a lot of stuff going on all at once at that storm.
Holy cow, there's 3,000 of you guys in here. Wow, I thought I would have lost you guys for real. I'm not even kidding you.
Thank you, Chook, for the 5. Thank you so much.
Tornadoes are cool. Yes, they are.
Yeah, no problem.
They're very cool. Yeah, radar. Oh, these are some decent stones up here. Holy cow.
Uh-oh.
Okay, we got baseballs now.
Uh-oh.
Baseballs on the road, big hail falling.
Big hail falling.
Baseballs on the road, folks, is what Freddie just said. We will be praying for your windows, sir.
The hailstones.
Oh, yeah. Look at all them hailstones. I haven't seen any new ones fall, but maybe they'll miss it. Hopefully so.
If there's baseballs in here, then geez, there's gotta be. I don't even know. There's gotta be baseballs in storm.
Yeah, it's warned for headache-sized hail, 2-inch hail, or 70-mile-per-hour winds. But yeah, I mean, the size of the hail that's on this road, Freddie just said that there's baseballs, that he saw a couple baseballs on the road. So I wouldn't rule out some isolated baseball-sized hail, which is now starting to move into the Syracuse area.
Okay, I guess we can go in.
And very close to Medway and Mayline as well.
Gonna start to fall.
Yeah, latest scan over here looks like our reds are dying down a little bit, so the wind's moving away from our radar near the stronger push of wind are starting to decrease a little bit there. And still gonna keep an eye on this storm for some shenanigans, but and there goes our tornado warning.
Window can be replaced. You guys are right. Okay. I can't even see out this window to see if there's anybody coming.
There. And yeah, tornado warning has officially expired. Let's get that off of there. The storm is not warned for hail that big, so they would definitely need to put an upgrade on it, in my opinion. See what's going on down there in Pagey Land. Yeah, these storms are almost immediately dying here. Yeah, I don't know about these guys. They weren't supposed to last very long, and they are definitely not. They are struggling big time. Let me change my title again because we just lost the NATO warning. How's everybody doing today, by the way? How's y'all's Sunday gone? Also got a little severe thunderstorm warning up here with 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds near Johnstown and Ainsworth in Nebraska. Some showers and thunderstorms near the Ugala area and Chadron area. And other than that, it's actually pretty quiet across the United States. There's really only these severe thunderstorm warnings. And we got also another one over here in Oregon. 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds moving towards Brogan. Near Brogan, Oregon. And make sure you're indoors and away from windows. Creating hurricane thumbnails, LOL, just in case this season. How's my weekend? It was good. I got a lot of golf in. It's been pretty quiet these last couple of days. The streams that we have been doing have been pretty short, so it's been slow. Slow start to August, but we'll see if it gets a little bit more active. Who wants to look at the latest on the tropical models? Anybody? I'm kind of curious to see if they've changed at all. What we got? What do we got? If we can be distracted for a second, let's be just a tad bit distracted. Actually, no, we'll do this over here. Like that, and then we'll go boom, boom. There we go. Forecast models. Okay. Yeah, we'll start off with this. No, I don't really care about this system, to be honest. Yeah, GFS still has this storm, but it brings it now into like Georgia and Florida as like a very weak system, maybe a tropical depression there. Yeah, the Euro tries to develop something there, maybe briefly. That wouldn't even be a tropical depression. The AI does not have nothing. Yeah, still a very weak signal on this. Yeah, the CMC, the Canadian model, has nothing. What about the Icon? Yeah, Icon tries to spin up something. It usually does try. Yeah, so looks like a little, you know, you could technically call that a weak signal now developing down there. So looks like the GFS might have not been too drunk after all, as some models are caving to the GFS down there for maybe something weak developing. So maybe got to look at, maybe got to keep an eye on it. Let's see else. How do I get this a little bit easier to see here for you guys? What if I do something like this? Wondering if a tornado will ever hit a bank. Well, if that happens, I hope it happens right next to me. All right, let's go change the regions out over here and check in on our ensembles for this guy. Where's she at? And then we'll go ensemble member mean. Yeah, signal is still there. Wow. The EPS model is actually really, it's now taking almost every single one of its members further up to the north. There's still a pretty wide spread though, so there is quite a bit of uncertainty there still, but almost every single one of its members is straight up north, not even a little western bit of it at all. Let's check out the GEFS. Wow, GEFS is now way further south than it was. Still does that northern recurve, but we have quite the disagreement here between our models. Again, this is still at 174. So the GEFS has a little bit more of a southern track. And our EPS model has a little bit of a more northern track. So quite the departure. This thing could go anywhere from just east of Bermuda all the way down here to just north of the Caribbean. Let's check out our GEPS and see if we can get maybe a tiebreaker here. Yeah, the GEPS brings that up to the north quite substantially. It barely even forms the storm in the first place, and then whatever does forms up here. So yeah, still a lot of uncertainty there, but it seems like we're still leaning more north if you bring all those ensembles together. A lot can still change. It has hit a bank before. People went into the vault, which saved them. Right. Let's hope it hits a bank that has nobody in it and the vault does not survive. And the money goes flying only into my hands. If that happens, do you have to return the money? Is it a crime to just stick all that in your pocket? You think so? Would I tell them? Depends on if it's illegal. If it's illegal, you kind of have to, right? But if it's not, I'm putting that in my pocket. Yeah, still some pretty strong winds over here to the north and west. Heading down to the west of Jetmore. And this storm seems to be going quite outflow dominant. Where the heck is Tornado Pagey? Her storms don't look right. Oh, they dipped up to the north. They are no longer. They're not in New Mexico anymore. They're in Kansas now.
Thank you, Joe, for the super chat.
This is what the storm in Kansas looks like from far away. You can see it still has a pretty healthy mesocyclone on it. And a pretty big hail core off on the right side of the screen.
Yeah. Bug splatter.
Finders keepers.
Gross.
You know, that's the whole thing, you know. No one's gonna know that it fell into your yard. So then it just boils down to, what do you do when no one's looking? Hold it until claimed. And you know what? That is one way to do it. I will say, all those bills are probably logged into the bank system. So if you spend it, you're probably gonna get flagged. You obviously take it to Las Vegas and gamble it all. Uh-oh, someone in chat's got a gambling problem. What is that? Is this storm still trying? Oh, interesting little thing sticking out of our storm here. This is from Johnson, Kansas, looking up north. Yeah, wall cloud trying to redevelop. Don't think it's a funnel, but I do think that could potentially be a wall cloud. Do I go live for blizzards? Not really. There's just not much I can do. Like, hey, snow's falling. Like, everybody in that area already knows that. Because when it's a blizzard outside, it's like you don't have to stay indoors and away from windows, so you can just go outside and just be like, oh, yep, that's a blizzard. You don't need to turn on a news channel to look at it. So I usually don't. I don't really go live that much during winter time unless there's like some like severe weather event. Yeah, it definitely seems wall cloudy in there. It still kind of looks surface based. It's not completely elevated yet. I ain't got no water in my water bottle left. To hydrate with. Yeah, a little bit. It's still looking a little wall cloudy back in there. I mean, our storm on radar really does not look that impressive. But we also are viewing it pretty far away. Let's check this radar. Yeah, it's just got that look to it that's not very tornadic, but I mean, you can still definitely tell from Paige's view, this thing's got structure still. I mean, and it still seems pretty surface based. So my theory is that the radar isn't really catching this storm in the best way. Watch out, Chazzy. Hold on, guys. Let me refill my water real quick.
Storm, warned for tornado possible, 2-inch hail, 70 mile per hour.
It still is an interesting storm.
Looks like it's trying to reorganize itself a little bit here.
So maybe it still tries to do something. We'll see. I mean, that mesocyclone still looks pretty darn impressive.
It's a monster storm.
Moving south.
See what's going in there.
Here's the real question. I mean, bank, that's that one's hard to argue, that's people's hard-earned money in the bank, and you're stealing it. Stealing the money, right? But like, what item would need to fall from the sky after a tornado that you could just not resist to take? That's the real question. For me, wings or like sushi, or if like frozen crab fell out of the sky, I would definitely eat. I would definitely just take that and eat it. Never report it. Coffee. If coffee's falling out of the sky, I don't know. That's gonna be hot.
Yeah.
Birthday cards?
Balance myself.
Hot Cheetos? Locked coolers full of beer? Oh my goodness. Ice cream? That's a good one. A whole cow? What are you gonna do with a whole cow?
Hopefully it's not a problem.
Spaghetti and meatballs?
Where is it?
Crazy answers. Put the cow in the freezer? What? A whole cow? Like you're telling, I'm assuming you're talking about a dead cow. If you're saying all that. Could still be alive. I'm not sure if you've seen the movie Twisters, but
Oh, lightning.
cows usually stay alive in tornadoes as they fly around on the outside of it.
It is.
Pizza?
Hi, buddy.
What?
What you doing?
What are they looking at?
It's a storm, I guess.
Oh, I thought there was like a dog over there.
Miss you.
I like your haircut.
I also have feelings about it.
Everyone say hi to Connor. Smells like cow.
Yeah, I didn't miss that.
Has anybody said men yet?
See how much
Men falling out of the sky? That's what you want? You need to get out more, Lynx. You're waiting for them to fall out of the sky. You're doing it wrong. You wouldn't eat anything that comes from the tornado. It would have sawdust and debris and have dirt in it. Oh no, man! Don't ruin it, but don't ruin it with logic.
Looks like it has some big hail in it.
It also probably has bacteria as well, but
Hail.
that thing back there is looking suspicious. Oh, she zoomed in for us. There's some scud back there. A fishery? Dang, that's some really low to the ground scud. I don't think that's a NATO though. That just looks like a little scud bomb.
It's echoing all through it.
All right. come back over here and give an update. Oh, looks like our chat crashed. Let me fix that really quick. I'm gonna give an update. Sorry. There we go. Jetmore. Still some strong winds near Jetmore, Kansas, heading down pretty much directly into Dodge City. He's got this big old massive rain that is still surging down to the south, with potentially up to 70-mile-per-hour winds and golf ball sized hail. So if you live in Dodge City, Kansas, make sure that you are continuing to be indoors and away from windows as this surges down to your south. The storm that we're looking here on the live streams from Pagey's stream is this storm. A whole lot of rotation that I can tell from our radar. This doesn't really look like a storm that can produce, but again, it still looks pretty interesting. It's a storm to at least look at and yeah, look at. I mean, that's pretty much it. Unless it starts doing something unexpected. But we haven't really seen much rotation on this thing. From her view, we've seen some scuddy little dangly bits, but that's about it. Not really an organized wall cloud. It still kind of looks a little bit elevated. We'll see. Almost like it's shrinking on radar. It definitely does not look as big as it was, that's for sure. This feature out in front of it looks like a rain-free mesocyclone. Why is she making that face? Oh yeah, the winds are probably strong. She's probably getting smacked in the face with dust, rain. Thought there was something disgusting on the window. Hope everyone is doing well today. We're doing all right. The storm is just not very organized. It's really not. I don't really see him put down a tornado anymore, but you never know. Maybe we get a dust NATO. Maybe one of these storm chasers are dumb enough to drive into the hail core. I don't know. I'm still kind of curious, to be honest, on what this storm will do near Dodge City. I don't typically like it when these storms really start to all converge into one storm. You can get some pretty strong winds out of that, which we are seeing that slowly get a little bit more organized. This comes closer to the radar. I mean, this isn't really that far up into the storm. Yeah, we're about 1,000 feet up into the storm. 80-mile-per-hour winds in there. Probably around 70 to 75-mile-per-hour winds making it down to the surface with this thing. I just want to keep a close eye on this storm as it comes into Dodge City. See if that ends up doing anything. The clouds did look like a dog. Did it? So we had an outflow boundary induced tornado like tornadoes were suggesting. Tornado chasers were... Oh, yeah. Yeah, there is potentially either one tornado that was on the ground for a long time, or it was two separate tornadoes. We saw it from Garrett's perspective for a brief moment, and then it appeared to lift, but it also got rain wrapped, so we weren't really sure what happened with it. And then all of a sudden, it popped back out of the rain near Connor's stream about 45 minutes ago as like a large multi-vortex tornado that was on the ground. But then it has since lifted since then, so... this storm isn't looking very tornadic right now. It's looking like an elevated supercell. But man, it's still got an interesting little feature on the leading edge of it. But it doesn't look very tornadic. Looks more outflowy now.
All right, this storm's warned for baseballs, and before we just skedaddle,
Baseballs?
we saw some hen eggs. So.
Oh yeah, the warning has gone up to baseballs. And 70-mile-per-hour winds. Heading towards Johnson and Ulysses, Kansas.
I don't want to go back that way and not be able to see.
What are you talking about? Help.
It is so bright.
Yeah, that's a wonky flash flood warning. That is for sure in Oregon.
I may have to put the other goggles on because I can't get the whatever off on
Laser disc sized hail.
Remind me to change my.
I don't think these storms are capable of that. Wouldn't rule out though some close to DVD sized hail, like just under that, like maybe some. What's the 3-inch hail one again? Is that grapefruit? I always forget it past baseball sized.
Fill out the sky. Oh my. I can see him kicking up dust and it's not that dry out here. We got some big hail coming, folks.
And the moderators do amazing. Apple size is 3-inch? Okay. Now you can see like the entire storm is now becoming elevated. As it becomes outflow dominant, the cooler air near the surface could have this storm. Maybe that's probably why it's back up to baseball size.
Oh boy.
Is because it's getting elevated behind our boundary. We actually have a 3-body scatter spike on this storm. Look at this. This little spike out in that direction, that thing. That is usually an indication that you have some pretty large hail inside of a storm. Interesting. Maybe a little something happening there. Not sure if that's about to wrap up, but I do believe we have some pretty strong winds that are about to develop on this storm as it comes close to Dodge City. Again, this storm is warned for 70-mile-per-hour winds, so we'll definitely be indoors and away from windows. I think we have cameras in Kansas, in Dodge City, that I'm hoping are live cameras. Yes, we do indeed maybe have live cameras near the Dodge City area, if they're still working. They do not appear to be working. I will let them try to reload. Can you imagine like the term? Can you imagine like the term golf ball size? Can you? Yes. What? It is an interesting area of convergence. It is. Definitely piquing my interest, but not, yeah, it's still not tightening up. Oh.
A new PDS severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
New PDS severe thunderstorm warning. They have extended our severe thunderstorm warning for that baseball-sized hail down towards Johnson and Mantor. Guys need to be indoors and well away from those windows. This is a destructive hailstorm heading down to the south. Some big-time hail coming in there. Looks like Storm Runner Media has got a interesting view on our storm. Big old, looks like a scud bomb.
A whole lot so far. There's been like 2 rain-wrapped, or I don't know if 1 or 2 rain-wrapped tornadoes on it, but there hasn't been anything photogenic. That's mostly what I saw too.
Thank you, Sandy, for subscribing.
Seeing, like, well, it's not a whole lot I've lost out on, but I took my chances and went over there. And hey, I was still able to get over here, so. Yeah, good work down there. Yeah, maybe it'll finally put out a nice photogenic tube for us here. Sir, if it does, it's gonna come pretty close to me. Well,
All right, chat. This thing is trying to do something right here. Oh,
Yeah. Oh, big hail
might have to go even further.
is
south.
about to drop here. I mean, it does look like a new wall. It's trying to become surface-based again. Maybe a new wall cloud developing. I can't tell, though, if that's a scud bomb or a new wall cloud. But they seem to be... Storm chasers seem to be somewhat excited about it, which is never good for the general public. What is the average yield of a scud bomb? I don't know. They measure it in number of water molecules, not TNT. White balls are falling from the sky. Why does that sound like a song?
So trying right there.
Someone needs to make like a happy storm chasing song
How did I lose you all?
where like the wording of it is just like
How did I lose you all?
destructive,
Oh no.
but like the tone of the song and the voice is like very happy. Would I golf with golf ball sized hail? Not very good golf balls. They shatter pretty easily. Is that far? Yeah, we're looking at the far west one. We got maybe it trying to become a little bit more surface based. I don't see much motion in there. That's the thing. So I'm like, I don't really want to call it a wall cloud yet, as the motion is like, it's pretty stagnant. If we, let me come back into time. Yeah, I mean, even if you time lapse it, the motion is still pretty stagnant.
At least I thought we were.
But it is a brief little moment here where it's trying to become a little bit more surface based.
Lost? Okay.
We'll see.
No, I thought maybe there's a possibility because I lost like 700.
Okay, we got to go back to the main screen here. An interesting development. Still over here with this little area of rotation trying to develop here north of Dodge City, Kansas. Uh-oh. Weather-wise is glitching a little bit. Oh, okay. Yeah, still keeping an eye on this area. If I play it in motion, you can see that it's kind of been there for a little bit, but it is getting oriented a little bit more favorably for a tighter circulation. So, got to keep an eye on this. You can see how before it was more like southwest and then northeast, and then now we have more of like east and west, or west and east kind of orientation of these winds, which is a little bit more favorable. And look at this view from Storm Winter Media. My goodness. Wait, no. It's from Pagey.
More than broadly.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah, they're seeing that little scud bomb looking thing too. What are they saying? They said more than broadly, so I guess they're talking about rotation. Storm might try again. We'll see. Not sure if we should use that wording yet. You know, if this rotation tightens up next scan, they will definitely throw a warning on it. They're probably waiting for that for Dodge City.
Sun's out.
If there's almost enough rotation to say go ahead and do it. Well, they might just go ahead and do it.
Look at all that right there.
Look at all this behind us.
Yeah, I
Pulling
know.
into it.
Oh wow, is that a little dust NATO back there? No, that's probably just their dust that they made with their car. They're on a dusty road.
I don't want to pull off this road.
In case it's soft.
Yeah, we'll keep our eyes on them. I don't know if I believe the hype yet about that little blob. Oh, there's another good. Oh wow. Man, these winds are getting pretty strong near Dodge City. Rotation isn't tightening, thankfully, yet. But man, we're pretty close to this radar. And that is a almost 90 mile per hour wind gust at 800 feet. So we're probably in PDS 80 mile per hour wind territory now with this storm. We've got a downburst, a pretty destructive downburst happening with this storm, about to come pretty close to Dodge City, if not directly in to Dodge City itself. So if you live in Dodge City, I would be now getting into your safe spots, as we can almost estimate pretty accurately here that these winds are going to be particularly intense. The music is back. What do you got against the music? The music's the best part of the stream. Let me see if we have like a maybe a better live cam in like near the Dodge City area. Please. Oh, we do. The heck? 7 things changing for seniors on Social Security. Oh, yeah. Thing number 1, you ain't got it no more. Oh my my God, these winds are getting even more intense. This is crazy. This is so close to the radar. We are now up to 99 mile per hour winds. This needs a PDS and potentially a circulation, tight circulation here.
A new PDS severe
There it is.
thunderstorm warning has been issued.
New PDS severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for 80 mile per hour winds, and there could be almost 100 mile per hour winds inside of this storm, probably around 80 to 90 mile per hour winds approaching the Dodge City area. So please be in your safe spots. Again, these are destructive supercellular winds. This is why they just put a PDS severe thunderstorm warning on it, which means particularly dangerous situation. And we even have a little bit of a couplet right here as well. No debris yet. Wouldn't rule out a quick little NATO with this as well, as this surges into Dodge City. Here is our view out of the Dodge City area, so we'll be able to see this thing come in. Fingers crossed that everybody is okay with this storm after it comes through, because again, you know, when you get over that 80 mile per hour range, everybody usually starts to lose power. And you get in that 90 mile per hour range, that's when you're like, oh boy, yeah, that's, you know, there. You could even, unfortunately, if you live in a trailer, I would be getting in a sturdier shelter here in Dodge City. Yeah, this is why I hate. I've seen this so many times before. And this is why I was saying earlier, like I hate when we have this like these big old blobs of rain in an environment when there's a lot of instability. Like you just get these weird things happen inside of them. You can sometimes get very large tornadoes just out of the blue. You can get very strong winds just out of the blue. And sometimes it's those very strong winds that cause very strong tornadoes out of these storms. So this is a pretty dangerous situation for Dodge City. And I would just be very, very weather aware as this comes through. Again, this is not a storm to mess around with. Not a storm to mess around with. Oh yeah, you can see the wind surging on radar as well. Jeez Louise. Just waiting for that latest velocity scan. Hoping our winds get a little bit weaker on our latest velocity scan. Because Dodge City is about to get smacked. Again, if you live in Dodge City, Kansas, please be in your safe spots. Again, this is a very dangerous storm. Cannot stress that enough. Our latest velocity scan, again, which is our radar's right here. We're only looking about 700 feet into this storm. And we have got potentially up to 100 mile per hour winds just 700 feet above the ground. It is possible some of those winds are making it down to the surface. Also, we have a developing circulation here as well that is getting stronger. The winds are getting stronger. The tornado couplet. Okay, we need a tornado warning on this storm. That is a developing couplet there that needs to be tornado warned, and our winds are getting even stronger. 100 mile per hour winds now 500 feet above the surface coming into the Dodge City area. Jeez Louise. Yeah, back over here, a little bit stronger. Yeah, this is a very dangerous storm. Yeah, strongest winds are 100.7. That's 600 feet. Our closest to the ground and also near our couplet is around 100 miles per hour. And you can see we also have some red showing up here close to the blue, which means this needs to get a tornado warning. This is probably close, if not already producing a tornado there just north of Dodge City. This is why we have a severe thunderstorm warning with 80 mile per hour winds. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if they increase that even further. Up to 90 miles per hour cannot be ruled out. This is the live view out of Dodge City. We are still keeping a close eye. Let me bring this up here to Dodge City. Kansas. Let me just make sure we're at the most recent view. Sometimes these cameras can get behind, and I just want to always double check. Alabama launches new rule for cars. Wow. You can see how that moisture streaming into this storm. I do not like the way that this storm looks, folks. I hope that rotation goes away. That's all I gotta say. With this strong of an RFD, you could easily get like a strong tornado pretty easily if this thing wants to wrap up. Yeah, 27,000 people live in this city. All right, let's see if we have that new velocity scan. No new velocity scan yet. Okay. All right, somewhat good news. Still not so much. I mean, we still have a little bit of a couplet there, so, but it's not as strong as it was, but we are still talking about very powerful winds about to come into Dodge City. Again, up to 80 to 90 mile per hour winds. Can't rule out 100 mile per hour winds. I think we are starting to get a little less of an accurate depiction of our storm because we're getting closer and closer to the radar. But yeah, I mean, even with just this, we are still seeing up to 90 mile per hour winds now at 96 mile per hour winds, just 400 feet above the surface, still inside of this storm as it pushes down into the Dodge City area. So please continue to be in your safe spots. Again, that's the lowest, most interior portion of your house with as many walls in between you and the outside as humanly possible. A tornado shelter or a basement underground. This storm is the real deal, and you don't want to mess around with it. I know Dodge City gets some crazy storms, and so you guys are a little bit desensitized, but this isn't your typical severe thunderstorm warning. This thing's going to hit, and it's going to hit hard. So make sure you're in your safe spots and not driving around like these people on camera. You have a camera ready in Southeast West Dodge. How do I search that camera? Larry. You wanna? Do you have Twitter? Maybe. What app am I using? I'm using WeatherWise. Golly, this is a dangerous storm here for Dodge City. You can see a lot of people lose power, and even trailer homes get destroyed just with the straight line winds. Really hope it just gusts out before it gets in the Dodge City area, and it's just not that big of a deal. But so I mean, we still got a couple of minutes before it comes into town, so there is an argument to be made that it could weaken, but I wouldn't bank on that. I would just get in your safe spots and just expect 80 to 90, maybe even some isolated areas of 100 mile per hour winds. Winds getting crazy in Garden City. Yeah, thankfully Garden City is not going to be getting much out of that storm. You guys are going to be getting a little storm, but you guys just got the outflow boundary. So that's probably why your wind gusts just got a little bit elevated there. Which way is the storm headed from Dodge City? It's coming out of the north into Dodge City. Still waiting on the latest velocity scan out of our storm. Yeah, looks like we just got it in. Yeah, you can see a new downburst is potentially wrapping around this thing, and then right in there was where our couplet was, but again, we're getting a little bit closer to our radar, so we're still not really getting the best picture on this storm right now. But even with that, we are still measuring now 92 mile per hour winds just 300 feet above the surface, and then also 92 mile per hour winds back over there as well, and 108 mile per hour winds just 500 feet above the surface. Jeez. Wow. Yeah. Not sure if all that's making it down to the ground, but if it is, this is going to be like a Category 2 hurricane for the city of Dodge City. So please be in your safe spots. If that is anywhere accurate, that's going to be bad. It's only 500 feet above the surface. It is very possible that some of those winds are making it down there. And this is a camera out of Dodge City that we're going to be watching as the storm comes through. Hopefully able to confirm. We're not unfortunately, it's not looking directly at our storm, but it will come into view pretty quickly as the storm comes through. We probably got about 3 to 5 minutes before this thing is actually in Dodge City. So please, you're running out of time to get into your safe spots. I just don't think that our warning right now does this storm justice. Oh wait, they did upgrade it to 90-mile-per-hour winds. So now the severe thunderstorm warning is, you guys are warned for 90-mile-per-hour winds now. They did just upgrade it. And again, that could be still kind of an underestimation. We're measuring 108-mile-per-hour winds just above the surface. This is an extremely dangerous situation. Again, this is our latest view from radar. You can see the storm is just about to come into the Dodge City area. And those are those very strong winds back over here, pushing into Dodge City again. Up to 90-mile-per-hour winds are possible in this storm, and potentially a little bit higher. Again, back over here, 500 feet above the ground, we are seeing up to 108, 109-mile-per-hour winds potentially. So if any of those make it down to the surface, that's going to be a problem. So again, just be in your safe spots. It's going to be into Dodge City here any moment. Oh, yep. Winds are increasing here on camera. Camera's starting to shake. Yeah, 90-mile-per-hour winds is no joke. The rain hasn't even hit yet, and we're already getting some decently strong winds already. No, there's still power. At least where our camera's looking. Oh, I think that's a shelf cloud on the left coming into view. Oh boy. Again, if you're in Dodge City, Kansas, you need to be in your safe spots. This is an extremely dangerous situation here for Dodge City, Kansas. Again, we are dealing with a storm with potentially Category 2 hurricane winds inside of it. And it's barreling into Dodge City as we speak. And this is a camera in Dodge City. We're going to try to confirm it here. We're already seeing some pretty strong winds. Oh yeah, look at those clouds approaching out of the left there. They are moving pretty quickly. And thank you, Judy, for the 10. Thank you so much. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Thank you for the 10. That does help out a lot. Yeah, hopefully the camera doesn't die. If the power goes out, the camera will probably, shut off. But this is the only one we got that we can actually use. Yeah, there's that wall of rain coming in. Server errors, velocity, read up to 110 plus. These winds have to travel through a couple hundred feet. Yeah, 90 to 105. I think that's a good estimate. Help. Yeah, keep your eyes back in there for power flashes as well. They'll look like little green things emanating from the ground. We're probably going to see tons of power flashes. If this camera survives, we should start seeing them. Like, oh, there was a power flash to the left. That was the right color. That was not a lightning bolt. Yeah, that one was a lightning bolt. Oh, here comes the rain. Wow. It is now entering Dodge City, so you guys are out of time to get into your safe spots. Oh yeah, you can see it near those lights down there, the wind streaking across the sky. I still don't think we're in the core of the storm yet. This is a very heavy downpour. What is that? Oh yeah, look at this. On radar. This is 200 feet. 109 mile per hour winds coming into near the Dodge City Municipal Airport. 109 mile per hour winds, 200 feet above the surface. That is extremely powerful winds. Again, that is category 2 strength. Like, imagine if you're like, it's just like, imagine if like just the world's smallest category 2 hurricane was pushing into Dodge City. That is what we are expecting you guys to experience out there. Again, it is 100+ mile per hour winds, probably making it down to the surface here in the Dodge City area. Again, this is an extremely dangerous situation. Please continue to be in your safe spots. This is the view out of Dodge City, Kansas. Looks like this area at least still has power, thankfully. But I don't think the strongest winds have shown up yet. Dodge City is not used to this windy. Yeah, trust me. Oh. Again, when you have 108 mile per hour winds, 200 feet above the surface, that's probably making it down to the ground. There's a good chance. Oh, camera's starting to shake again. Man, I wish we had a camera closer to the surface. We still might see power flashes, so keep your eyes out for the power flashes. They look like little green or blue, like kind of like darker green and blue flashes. Oh yeah. Winds are definitely shaking our camera here. Let me see if I can find a camera closer to the surface real quick. No, this is the only one. And that camera's really starting to shake now. Yeah, this is the only camera. There was a traffic camera, but it's not working. Jeez. Yeah, it looks like the strongest winds have arrived into eastern Dodge City. According to radar, here's our latest radar scan, and we still have more to come. More dangerous wind to come. That's where our strongest band of wind is. It is eventually going to work its way into probably a little bit more to the west in Dodge City as the storm continues to push down to the south into the city. But again, this is just a big old freaking blob of rain. You see how that really wrapped up there? That is all of this wind and rain kind of converging into one spot, to one storm. And then that's why we are experiencing these winds. And we just had this very large downburst of winds come through this area. So again, if you live in Fort Dodge, continue to be in your safe spots. Dodge City as well could still see even stronger winds. Eventually move into the western portion of Dodge City. It looks like eastern Dodge City is getting hit the hardest near the Dodge City Municipal Airport area, but probably a lot of people in Dodge City are all getting hit at once. It's rotating. It's hard to tell. It's too close to the radar to really, I don't really see much indication of strong rotation inside of this storm. Oh wow, you can see rain bands every now and then move past the camera. They're moving pretty quickly. Power, at least on this part of Dodge City, is still on, thankfully. This has to be more in like western Dodge City where this camera is. It's definitely not near the airport. Terrible weather today in western Kansas. Absolutely. First we had tornadoes, and now we have this abomination. Oh wow. Camera shaking again quite a bit. Power is still on though. How many people do we have in chat that live in, does anybody in chat live in Dodge City? What are you guys experiencing? 2 miles west of the airport. Okay. So yeah, that's probably why the winds are picking up now instead of at the beginning of when it went through, because the airport, I think, is getting hit the hardest, according to radar. And then western Dodge City is not getting hit as hard, but there could still be some stronger winds about to come in. And I think we're seeing them right now. The camera is definitely shaking a lot more. And we haven't seen any power flashes. Well, we saw a couple earlier from the distance, but nothing like close to this camera yet. So does appear like maybe western Dodge City was spared by the worst. But Eastern definitely got smacked the hardest with this storm. If you know anybody that lives like near the Dodge City Municipal Airport, near like Comanche Road, 56, near Flying J, the Dodge City area there, near the Ford County Sheriff's Office, I think they probably got hit the hardest with this storm. Make sure you're reaching out to them. Make sure that they're okay. They're probably out of power over there, if I had to guess. Yeah, latest scan on radar is now showing those winds coming out on the other side of the radar now. We're still seeing 80 to 86 mile per hour winds there. And then just 200 feet above the surface, 90 mile per hour winds and closer to the surface. But not really sure if this is a legitimate signal, just given the fact that this is so close to the radar. But seeing 76 mile per hour winds. And on the southern side, we are still seeing up to 80, close to 90 mile per hour winds now coming into Fort Dodge near Will Roads. Okay, looks like we got our first wind report out of Dodge City. See if I can get that up here. Yeah, it's not showing up on Radar Omega yet, but Help is a reliable source. He says a wind report of 73.7 mile per hour winds have been reported in Dodge City. It's not 90-mile-per-hour winds, but we'll probably have more reports come in. Hopefully it wasn't as strong as radar was indicating, but I would seriously doubt that we didn't get some place in there that got up to 80 to 90-mile-per-hour winds, especially over here near the airport. Help, do you know where that wind report came out of? Did it come out of Eastern Dodge City or Western Dodge City? Let me see if I can find it on the SPC. It's not going to be super helpful, actually, now that I think about it.
A new PDS severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
Yeah, they are extending this down into south and east still for 90-mile-per-hour winds. It's going to be heading into Fowler, Mineola, Bloom, Buckland, and Ford next here in Kansas. Eventually, this is going to try to make it into the Oklahoma area as well. I think that's more upper level winds. Not just seeing. Well, Griff, do you live in Dodge City? And if you do you live in more Western Dodge City or Eastern Dodge City? The airport METAR is showing gusts of 74. Okay. Is this coming any closer to Wichita? No, it's going to miss you guys pretty clearly to the west. The airport is where that was measured. Okay, thank you. You're on the west side? Okay. Yeah, the west side didn't get hit as hard as the eastern side. I mean, we still have winds close to our radar of up to 90-mile-per-hour winds. Some areas close to 100-mile-per-hour winds. So that does surprise me that we haven't gotten anything higher reported out of this storm. That's about as reliable as you can get. I mean, we're right next to the radar, and those winds are very close to the surface. Let me see if I can find like a camera near Bloom, Kansas. There's one near Mullinville. Is that where that is? Yeah, there's one near Mullinville. Near Buckland. There's one near Mineola, but that one's down. Like all of our cameras that could possibly see this storm are unfortunately down. And I don't think we have any other cameras to the south, like higher definition cameras. No. Woodward, Oklahoma. Yeah, I mean, if this holds on to its strength, yeah, that could be going into Woodward. Let me look at our mesoscale environment around this, though. I am curious. If this thing's got like, is it just got a bunch of juice left, or is it? Yeah, it's becoming outflow dominant quite a bit. There is a surface inversion building in, and honestly, it's about to move out of, like, in Oklahoma itself. We've only got about 1,005. Let me see what that line is. It's about 2,000 joules per kilogram. So it is going to slowly start to run out of instability pretty much from now into the future. And the environment is becoming a little bit more stable around this storm. But man, I mean, we are still seeing upwards of 80 to 90 mile per hour winds. So it's still kicking for right now. So again, if you live in Ford, Bloom, Buckland, and Mineola, you guys need to be in your safe spot still. Again, this is still a powerful storm. You're assuming this is coming from Dodge City itself, where a 77 mile per hour wind report just came in. Okay. We just got a 77 mile per hour wind report. Weather boy, where are you getting that information from? Like what website? Is it Dodge City Airport? METAR, I guess. Yeah, I'm not seeing like anything live of that local NWS website. Radar Omega, you can turn METARs on. I know you can do that, but it's not like live. Oh yeah. Yeah, there you go. 77 mile per hour wind gusts measured. Let's see here at 7:33 p.m. Central Time from the METAR station there, right at the airport. Is the highest confirmed wind that we have at least seen so far. A little area of rotation potentially right there. It's a little bit close to that radar, so it's kind of hard to tell its validity, but there's a little bit of area, broad circulation there. Probably should keep an eye on that. Weather service is at the airport. Yeah, I'm looking at the page. Where do I find like their live METAR data from their weather station? The radar is stuck on Radar Omega. Is it? 7:31. No, it's updating. Sent you the image of it? Okay. Let me see. Oh, that's on mobile. Not really helpful. I'm just trying to figure out how to get to the METAR on the website. It's dying out. There's still some pretty strong winds in there. Still warned for 90 mile per hour winds until we hear otherwise. I would still be in your safe spots there. Mineola, Bloom, and Buckland and Ford as well. This is still an extremely dangerous situation. This pushes down to the south and east towards Mineola, Bloom, and Buckland. Again, 90 mile per hour winds are still possible inside of this storm. METAR, yeah. Click on the area. Let me see. Yeah. I'm not seeing like a live version of it anywhere. I clicked on it and a little bit better, but let's come over here to our storm chasers and check in on this storm that is still trying to be surface based. But I don't think it's got no rotation in that.
What? What? No.
Lori wanted us so you can listen.
Okay. You get inside so you don't get hit by it.
My thoughts is, we don't really have a clear picture on how, the severe weather is going to progress, but I mean, we definitely have kind of the right ingredients, to kind of slingshot some mesoscale type systems into the area, maybe some supercells, maybe some tornado. But again, it's July. Things are going to be pretty iffy until we get closer to it. So As of right now, my thoughts are I think we're definitely going to get an increase of severe weather as we move into next week. I just don't know exactly how strong and which day is going to be the strongest. As again, where that moisture sets up, where that instability sets up, where those parameters like the lower level shear, how our mesoscale convective systems develop. It's all like this was not forecasted for today. And because it's July though, we can still get these weird sneaky systems. So are we going to get scenarios like this with that storm? When you get more flow aloft, storms get a little bit more vented. We're going to have some lower level shear. So I'm definitely thinking, tornado threat. Tornado threats will certainly be possible. My calendar is a week behind. What are you talking about? I don't have a calendar. Evan is a time traveler? What? July, it's August 3rd. Did I say July? When did I say August or July? I said July, whatever. You guys are being all tight about one little mistake. I know it's August. Guys, I know it's July, guys. I know it's July. I didn't mean to say August. Got him again. Yeah, these clouds look crazy. But this is a bunch of scud. Yeah, I suck at dates. I suck at dates and names. Those are my two kryptonites. Dates and names. Yeah, it looks like our storm is still pushing down to the south here with some 70 or up to 90 mile per hour winds. Now about to move into Mineola, Bloom, and Buckland. So please continue to be in your safe spots. As this storm continues to push down to the south and east, you can kind of see the outflow boundary start to move out a little bit further out in front of our storm. So that is a sign that it is weakening. But still could be some pretty strong winds in there. Whose storm is that we're watching? This is Pagey Tornado stream here. We're looking at a little outflow boundary. If we come back in time, we can see if there's any spin. And there's really not much spin. Even when you speed it up. So it's a little bit of an outflow boundary near this one storm. This storm has produced tornadoes in the past, but it has since done that. It has been kind of not really tornadic in the last 30 minutes. Yeah, it's kind of close to severe. I wouldn't say, I don't know. It says 40 to 48 help. I guess with the storm relative motion. Let me see, 25, yeah. It is moving to the south at 25 miles per hour. Could be severe. Not sure if we'll get a big surge of wind like we saw here. I don't think the environment really supports it. Yeah, near Thetford. Getting pretty capped out, and instability is quite low. But I guess I could agree on you. Agree with you about severity. Could be severe. You said July. You friggin'. You know what?
You said that it was July, but it's August. Okay? But you said it was July. Yeah, but it's July. I mean, it's August. It's August 3rd, actually, which is 3 days past July. 3 whole days. What have you been doing? It's August. Jeez.
That'll be the chat angry voice as well from now on. As things still warned for 90 miles per hour. Still no changes there. Still a very dangerous storm moving into Mineola, Bloom, and Buckland. So please continue to be in your safe spots. Like Garden City's getting a little storm too. Wow, this storm now is warned for 70-mile-per-hour winds near Garden City. A little bit of an escalation there. Potential for some golf ball-sized hail, but that golf ball-sized hail is more near Deerfield than it is near Garden City. Like Storm Runner Media is getting a view of the storm yet again. Look at that. And it looks so dark on their stream all the time. I know this cannot be the way it looks like in person. I don't have color correction. Yeah, it's July 34th. Adder.
Actually, it's August 3rd. Okay? It's August 3rd. Which again is 72 hours past July. A whole 72.
It's not September yet. Nope. But you wake me up when it ends, though. Rotation near Dodge City? Nah, this is all outflow. This back here, not really seeing much rotation. Still some pretty strong winds, though, about to move into Bloom, according to radar. The further and further out these storms get from our radar, the harder... Oh, Paige is getting hail. And potentially big hail. Oh. Oh, yeah, look at that hail explode on the road. Oh, there's some big little hail pieces in there.
These are huge.
I can probably put the mail over here.
Okay.
We have to here in a minute.
Yeah.
Alabama's got some weak thunderstorms. That's about it. Oh. Oh, dang. When did that happen? Oh, it was right there. Jeez. Well, are we surprised?
Oh boy, those are huge. Those are huge. Those are huge. Oh.
That sounded weird. It like hit him right. Yeah, it hit like right where their camera gets mounted.
Those are huge. Those are huge. Those are huge. Oh.
That sucks. But, you know, I was suspicious. I mean, they've had an uncracked window now for over a couple of days, so it doesn't surprise me. Latest update on this storm. Looks like the winds are now pushing into Bloom, Kansas, and about to move into Buckland as well. Still with that 90-mile-per-hour wind potential, so please continue to still be in your safe spots there. And this storm over here south of Johnson has ping pong ball sized hail, 70-mile-per-hour winds. It's moving towards Rolla. And then over here near Garden City, this storm also has 70-mile-per-hour winds moving down towards Plymell. Looks like gorilla hail. Well, it's big enough to break windows, so it's got to be over 2 inches. Definitely not ping pong ball sized hail. They need to up that warning. Ping pong ball sized hail doesn't destroy windows like that. You can create your own description for your hail, and what would it be and why? What do you mean by that? Hold on one second. I got to use the restroom like really bad. Oh, wow. We got another report, a little bit delayed, showed 85-mile-per-hour wind gusts in Dodge City. Wow. Yikes. All right, let me use the restroom real quick.
A new PDS severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
I'm back. Thank you guys for being patient. I do appreciate it. Bring a pee bucket? That's gross. Dave. That's just gross. Leave those comments at the door. All right, latest update. We are still warned for 90-mile-per-hour winds. And it looks like they have, wow. They have up to this severe thunderstorm warning now to 3-inch hail, 70-mile-per-hour winds heading towards Elkhart. Man, look at that hail spike as well. That is, so yeah, that explains the crack in Pagey's window. Potentially up to 3-inch hail inside of our storm. Will I grow a beard? I can't. I would if I could. I do not have the ability to grow a beard. Big hail? Yeah, that's huge hail. That's apple-sized hail. Falling out of the sky. It's okay. We've only been live for like 2 hours. No big deal. Gecko-sized hail? That's funny. It can help if you're low. What? No, growing a beard doesn't really have much to do with testosterone. It's more genetics. Never mind. That's fake news. Apparently, testosterone is the byproduct of DHT, which plays a significant role in beard growth. But genetics are the primary determinant. Ha! I was right. Never mind. I was right. I gotta trust myself more. I can only grow like 3 hairs. Okay. You're not making me feel any better. Judging by your screen name, you are a lady. I could be wrong. But it says cat lady. Yeah, it looks like they're keeping that on there. We'll see if the next warning keeps those 90-mile-per-hour winds or not. They should be issuing it any moment now. Have little or no facial hair. Well, I do have Native American in my blood. And German. Oh, yeah. They're still keeping it.
A new PDS severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
They are still keeping it for 90-mile-per-hour winds for Inglewood, Ashland, Sitka, Lexington, Protection, and Coldwater. Now all need to be in their safe spots. Check it every now and then. I mean, it's still the same thing. Can't really tell you exactly how strong the winds are, but if they're keeping 90-mile-per-hour winds on this storm, that means we're probably getting some on-the-ground reports. If we come over here to our velocities, it's pretty far away from the radar, so can't tell you 100% whether or not these are making it down to the surface or not, but we're still seeing 80 to 100-mile-per-hour wind warnings in our wind, at least in this portion of the storm. Other portions, not really as much. A little interesting thing over here. I'm wondering, though, if that's going to be a new mesocyclone or a new mesoscale convective system starting to develop up there, which you usually don't get tornadoes out of that, but you usually get a lot of false signals for like tight rotation on those. Ron Burgundy mustache. Doing me reports in Dodge City. Yeah, the latest was 85-mile-per-hour wind report in Dodge City. What tribe am I? I think it was Pueblo. Pueblo. That's at least what my grandma said. Although she also said that that we are related to Pocahontas as well. So I'm not sure if she can be trusted. But maybe we are. Maybe we are. I don't know. I don't know how she would know that. What state am I in? I live in Alabama. Let's keep the tornadoes away from Greensburg. I think. Where's Greensburg again? Isn't it somewhere near this? Greensburg, Kansas. Yeah. I think Greensburg should be okay. Well, you know what? I will say this is quite the signal there. No debris signature. That's pretty darn convincing. You see how it kind of bends towards our velocity signature, and it doesn't look contaminated to me. That could be a little brief NATO there. I'm not seeing a debris signature. It might be out in the middle of a field. Ever come by St. Pete, Florida? I will. Roll Tide. Boo. Get Pamela out of here. Banner. I'm just kidding. I am not partial to either side. I don't really watch football that much. Although my brother did get married in Auburn. So I guess I am a little bit biased to Auburn. And I always say boo whenever somebody is says that they say Roll Tide. So it's got a new severe thunderstorm warning out over here in Oklahoma and parts of Texas for Cactus, Guyman, Perry, Canadian, Elk City, Hobart, Anadarko, Watauga, Alva, and Woodward. That's going to be for apple-sized hail possible, scattered gusts of up to 80 miles per hour likely as that pushes into the Oklahoma area. And it's mainly just going to be for these storms back over here, this little pocket of storms. Big hailers here and potentially here, and then strong winds on this storm. Kind of a complex of storms. I think we all have a little... No, that is not how that works. Native American is actually a pretty rare genetic background. See, unfortunately, back in the day, instead of becoming friends and marrying and procreating with Indians, a lot of the times they just killed the Indians. So it's not that likely.
A new severe thunderstorm watch has been issued.
This is what the storm looks like with the apple-sized hail inside of it. Looks pretty gnarly still, if you ask me. Listen in for a little bit.
That's a big piece of hail.
Don't get out and get hit.
Just got a severe thunderstorm watch. Yeah, I know.
Let's pull up a
And they're saying up to 80-mile-per-hour winds are possible in your area.
Right there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I think like on my dad's side, they have like German and Swedish blood. And on my mom's side is like Native American and something else. So like when I tan, I can tan quite a bit. I can also get very white. It's weird. So I'm definitely not probably full or half, probably like less than half Native American if I had to guess, because of my dad's side and all that. But yeah, all of those countries, our ancestors from those countries are pretty hairless. So like you can barely even notice hair on my arm. I just don't have much hair. Kind of got the worst of both worlds. And I'm 31 and I'm just able to kind of grow in some scruff now. It is growing a little bit more, to be honest. Latest scan out over here is we have some strong winds now, still approaching Ashland and Lexington, where we still have an extremely dangerous situation here, with some 90-mile-per-hour winds possible for Inglewood, Ashland, Sitka, Protection, Coldwater, and Lexington, Kansas. Also still monitoring these little circulations back up over here. Looks like this one's gotten a little bit broader since the last time we've talked about it, but still keeping a little eye on that area. Close to, doesn't that mean a plaque? I'm not sure. Let me see. Yes, it does. Thought you were a little younger? No. Everybody thinks that. So you're not alone. Man, this storm is looking interesting again near Richfield. It's becoming a little bit more surface-based.
A new severe thunderstorm watch has been issued.
The other night, yeah. You know, honestly, I honestly don't get how we got 56,000 that one night and that's it. Like, we can't even get close to that number again. And not even if we tried. Like, the YouTube algorithm just makes no sense. They try to dictate what you are interested in, by the way. That's why we can't reach anybody, because they're like, oh, you know, everybody that watched that tsunami stream is not going to be interested in weather, so we're not even going to serve the video to them. It's stupid. YouTube should not dictate what people see, but should, I don't know. It's just weird. I was hoping you'd at least give us a little bump, but it's like it never happened.
We'll get a windshield tomorrow.
Okay.
For sure.
I know some of the people that are here found me on the tsunami stream, but still. I wish we had more people out over near this storm, man. I don't even know, like I haven't been able to find another camera like in the path, like at all. Like I have some cameras near Guyman, but that's not close. No cameras near Woodward or Buffalo. Let me check the, let me check the traffic cams. 3 warnings. Yeah. Still warned for 70-mile-per-hour winds. I don't know. Yeah, that one just expired up there. And yeah, I mean, they could just allow this one to expire just to keep it a little bit more consistent. But I mean, they're both the same thing. So yeah, golf ball sized hail, 70-mile-per-hour winds are still possible over here near Sublette, Kansas. You do have a pale complexion. Yeah, the only reason that I'm tan right now is because I took up golf. I've been outside a lot. What do we got for tomorrow? Any surprises yet? Yeah, okay. Oh, by the way, guys, Weather Brains tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central. I'm pretty sure. Let me make sure. I messaged him just to make sure because I know they're going to be a little... Yes. Yes. Okay. Weather Brains tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central. Where do we watch it? It's a good question. Let me get that link up for you guys. Here's the link. We'll be on tomorrow on Weather Brains. That's the podcast hosted by James Spann and Bill. We have like little special guests on there and we talk about weather. It'll be interesting. I don't know what we're going to be talking about, but we'll see. It'll probably go in many different directions. Definitely going to be talking about clickbait. Who else to talk about clickbait with than with the clickbait hater, the biggest clickbait hater in the United States, which is James Spann. A little weird area of rotation on this storm showing up now. Just to the west of Richfield. I'm not sure if this is legitimate or not. The storm kind of still looks interesting from our storm chasers perspective. Let me check storm intermedia. It still also looks very outflow dominant, but they're like right near that area. So I'm not really seeing anything that tells me that that's a legitimate signal. The storm looks quite elevated, if you ask me. So that might be mid-level circulation, but not really near the surface. Chaz, are you getting hangry? All right, let me get Chaz some food real quick. But again, if you live in Ashland and Coldwater, watch out. 90-mile-per-hour winds are coming. Yeah, see, Chaz is barking at me. He's not having it. Okay, I'm coming. He's gonna be happy now. Not as barky. Got little bacon treats and chicken and potatoes and green beans. All right, still warned for 90-mile-per-hour winds here. As this continues to surge down to the south, there's our leading edge of our storm still. We could also have some damaging winds back in that area, but I think our strongest winds are still here south of Bloom near Lexington, heading towards Sitka there in Kansas. Their storm trying to form a hook. Which one? This one? Kind of hard to tell. We don't really have a very close radar. It's oriented in a really weird way, but I mean, we have chasers there still, so we still have that weird signal back over there. But again, I'm just not seeing much evidence on our chasers feed that's really amounting to much. I don't know what's happening on their stream here. It just looks very outflow dominant to me. But we'll see. And that's the best way for us to determine what's happening at the surface. And we just don't, we're not really looking back at the storm. Let's go listen into at least what they're saying on the chaser radio here. Yeah, Chazzy is a sweetheart, but when he gets hangry, he gets sassy. And be like,
Hey, I'm hungry.
No, you're
Feed me.
got turned on.
Or else I will eat every pillow in the house and destroy all the toilet paper.
Oh my goodness, I'm really not even. Ha 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 ha.
wait, let me turn up that audio. Ah, shoot, I pressed the button. Ow! Oh my goodness, hold on. No, no, no! Can't press the button. There we go. We're back. Yeah, latest scan. Looks like those winds are now moving into Lexington, Kansas, and then also into Ashland. I will say it doesn't look as impressive on radar anymore. I doubt we still have 90-mile-per-hour winds inside of this storm. See if we've gotten any, like, maybe any wind reports as of late.
A new PDS severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
Yeah, I mean, they're still keeping 80-mile-per-hour winds all the way into Buffalo, May, Laverne, and Roston. But it just doesn't look that impressive. I haven't seen any new reports out of this storm. But let me see what it says. Yeah, they're saying it's radar indicated. This is not observed anymore, so the max winds possible are now up to 80 miles per hour. Am I tired? I'm a little bit tired, but I mean, I wasn't expecting to be live this long, to be honest. I was expecting it to only be like an hour live stream, to be honest. Because that tornado threat with that storm, I wasn't expecting it to last very long, and it didn't. But then this guy came out of nowhere and has extended our stream at least another hour or two. Better collab with Span. I don't think he wants me, but that's going to be one of the things that we talk about is why is there such a big reluctance from, you know, the older media, like old media to collaborate with new media? Like, why is there such a reluctance? It's like, get y'all's butt on YouTube and start, like, they have so much money and such big teams. Like, there could definitely be a collaboration effort that would make streams so much better and so much better at warning people. But they keep on wanting to do their own thing, which I get. They're old and they're trying to hold on to their past, but the new media is here too. You know, I'm not saying let's forget about them, but I'm saying, hey, let's work together. I think that'd be smart, but they don't seem to be down. We'll see. We'll talk about it. Oh, look at that. We got a rainbow NATO.
This hill like this. See, I can already feel my tire slipping.
Almost like a cinnamon bun up there.
Cinnamon what?
I have to leave here in a second, though. The hail is still right on our tail.
They do use YouTube, but
I finally just got south of the hail core, the main hail core, but now I'm gonna turn west to get.
like if I get an offer to do like an Alabama nowcast with James Spann during like a tornado outbreak in Alabama, I don't think I can say no, guys.
Still pretty nice.
I mean, that's like a dream come true. When you both be wearing suspenders.
Nice. Turning on 51 now.
I'll shave my head bald so we can match and I can just become James Spann.
I can't believe there's a camera at this intersection.
Storm near Inglewood? What do you mean? Where's Inglewood? Let me search that. Inglewood, Kansas. Oh, there it is. No, it's not wrapping in the boundary. The boundary is like way out here. Near Clear Lake and Oaks in California. What? Let me get some more info on that. Is that due to the Guilford fire? No. Is it? I don't think it is. There's not a whole lot near the Guilford fire. I don't think I can search the map. Can I not? Which fire is that? Can you tell me what fire that is? Help. Oh, it's the lake fire. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we've got a fire near like a community in California. It's 340 acres near Clear Lake. Let me see if I can get a camera on that. I get an evacuation order for evacuation warning for northern Clear Lake in California. All right, Samuel. Thank you for helping out. I do appreciate that. Little update here. Looks like our winds are now moving through Ashland and Sitka. Next in line is going to be Inglewood, and then the Kansas and Oklahoma border for our 80-mile-per-hour windstorm here. And boy, oh boy. How the heck am I gonna find this on this map? Near a big lake north of San Francisco. Oh, here it is. Clear Lake. There's no live traffic cameras near the fire. There's like no cameras looking at that fire right now that I have access to. Surprisingly. Actually, I mean, there is a fire here. It's like right here near Clear Lake, but that's not 340 acres. So I'm wondering if that's like a spot fire. You can see smoke coming off over the left side there. Yeah, I'll keep my eye on it. But yeah, I mean, if you live, over here near, just north of Clear Lake Highlands, near Clear Lake Park, you guys are in evacuation warning, which means they're suggesting you leave. You see the fire started over here near Oak Street and has been moving more to the south and east with the wind. Could push into areas like Palmella Lane and Smith Road, and eventually down into Clear Lake. I'm trying to get more info on it. Let me see. I'll see if I can find anything for that. Yeah, near Clear Lake, California. That's pretty dangerous. That's really close to a population.
A new PDS severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
Looks like they did increase our severe thunderstorm warning off to the west a little bit here near Gate, Oklahoma, near Knowles, and Slap Out as well. So you guys need to be indoors in your safe spots there. Also over here near Sublette, Kansas, golf ball sized hail, 70-mile-per-hour winds are coming towards you guys. And then over here near Elkhart, still potentially up to apple-sized hail coming y'all's way and 70-mile-per-hour winds. Thank you, Hannah, for the 199. Do you need to worry about Wolf City tonight? I don't think so. I don't think these storms are going to make it down to you. Just double check our latest models for your area. Yeah, this system does eventually make it to you, but maybe more as just like rain. Doesn't reorganize until the next day. May cause some severe weather like south of Dallas. It just depends. Yeah. Just depends, but it should miss you for the most part. I would say a small chance for severe weather there. Wow, look at this. A 4-inch hail report out of our storm here near Mantor, Kansas. Yeah, this thing is still producing some very large hail. Also have a flood report out of Dodge City. Public report, street flooded in Kansas near Dodge City. Some street flooding. Yeah, whatever this fire is, it's not a big one yet. 340 acres. But it could grow. I mean, it does look like the winds are ripping out there. Here's another view. Near the Clear Lake fire. You can actually see some smoke kind of spreading across the area. I think the fire is like back in here somewhere. Yeah, bring this over to here. And then do a zoom in on this. Definitely see smoke out over there, but I'm not really seeing too much thick smoke yet. You can definitely tell that that wind is moving quite a bit. So if that storm, I mean, if that fire can get started, it could get big. Keep an eye on it. And thank you, John, for the 10. Thank you so much. I'll be looking over here near Lawton, Oklahoma. Kind of the same. Again, these storms are likely not going to make it all the way down into Lawton as something like strong or organized. But, you know, some scattered thunderstorms could be possible as we go into around 1 to 2 a.m. for Lawton before they move down to your south and east. Most likely it will be thunderstorms, maybe still a little bit of severe potential with that. Is this still an EDS? I don't think it is. I know it's a PDS. Still destructive severe thunderstorm warning. What the heck? Is this live? What happened to their cracks? Did the cracks disappear? How? Walsh, Colorado? Oh, they went into Colorado. Okay. I was like, where? I'm confused. that the same area that got burned recently? I'm not sure. I don't really keep up with fires too much. I'm trying to do better. The largest fire in California right now is the Gifford fire, but that one's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. But this one, it's a small fire near Clear Lake, but the winds are pretty stout over there, and you know, if it grows fast, it could become an issue, especially over there north of Clear Lake. We don't have any evacuation orders yet for this. A beautiful view here from Pagey Tornado, though. Wow. All right, latest update. Our winds are now almost to the Oklahoma, Kansas border. You can actually see our outflow is extending quite a bit out ahead of this. But from radar, there still is some pretty stout winds aloft. It does seem like our western or eastern portion of the storm is starting to disintegrate a little bit. But still potentially up to 80-mile-per-hour winds, I would say possible here. Although I haven't seen any reports or any observations yet. They're just assuming right now that our winds are that high, which they still very well could be still. Knowing where the storm is going to be, yeah, they are both Pagey and Stormer, or Pagey Tornado, Bryce Shelton, and Garrett are all really good storm chasers. I think I'll do a really good job. Weather Boy Wyatt. Oh, you did a really good job, Weather Boy Wyatt, on your chase as well. I totally blanked. I was like, who is this guy? Why does his name seem familiar? You chased for us. Oh my God. It just goes to show how freaking horrible I am at names, man. I try to do better, but even if I mean, don't feel bad. Even if I find a girl that is attractive and she tells me her name, I always ask for it at least 2 more times. It always happens. So don't feel bad. Or don't get mad at me. It's something that I cannot control. Just horrible with names. By nearing 100K. Slowly but surely, we'll get there maybe eventually. We'll definitely get there by the end of hurricane season if we actually get some sort of activity near the United States. I don't know. I don't really find it something that I celebrate about. The only reason I have close to 100,000 subscribers is because that's like 100,000 people that have almost been decimated by storms. So, or tsunamis for that matter. Heck, 1/9 of my audience now is from that tsunami stream. Which is just crazy to think about. The heck? Look at this. Got some dust. Over here near Walsh, Colorado. Wow. Is the dust gone? Wow, just like that. Dust is gone. But there you go. Live look at dust. You're welcome. No, no, it's understandable. I changed my name. It's Wakefield Outdoor. Well, you did a great job, so I should have remembered better. I will say, if you guys are wondering how much money is made from a stream like that, $3,400. I thought honestly it would be more. But that includes super chats and ads. It really wasn't as much as I thought it would be, but it's still a lot of money. But I thought 1 million views got you like 10K. But I guess not for live streams. I guess live streams are different. I don't know. Confusing. Got some dust over here on Stormrunner Media's feed.
For some reason, I don't know what the deal is.
They're going in the Chazzy Bacon Fund. Yeah, paying rent. And yeah, food. Food for me and the dog. July was looking like a very slow month, but it actually turned out to be a decent month because of that stream. So that stream literally carried the entire month for the channel. These storms turn into a line. They are already kind of a line. I don't know if these storms over here are going to join the line. But I mean, this part of the storm is already a line, kind of. It's like its own little mesoscale complex. Still with potentially up to 80-mile-per-hour winds coming into Roston, Buffalo, and Laverne. So as soon as this crosses over the border, we're gonna have to change our wording from Kansas to Oklahoma. So again, we still have a very powerful storm ongoing. Came across your channel, the stream before Evans, almost instant sub because the weather boy made me laugh. Oh.
Oh, that's not a sign. That's not a road. Okay.
Oh wait, let me turn off the sound.
I'm smelling something funny, chat. They're over there having a little
Maybe not.
too much fun over there. It smells like.
What's he smelling?
And welcome to Colorado, chat. By the way.
Oh, it's the fresh smell of Colorado.
We are in Colorado. This is so annoying.
One half of Colorado is super flat while the other is super mountainous. Yeah, they got big old mountains over there. It's pretty nice, actually. The air is so crisp in Colorado, I feel. Like just the pictures out of Colorado just look so crisp. Little update over here near Elkhart. Looks like they're allowing the severe thunderstorm warning to expire there. And they have dropped this down to ping pong ball sized hail, which is an improvement. The storm over here still has 2-inch hail on it, now moving into Sublet and Satanta. Or Satanta? Guess that's how you say it. Plains as well. And then we still have this 80-mile-per-hour windstorm now moving into Oklahoma. So let me change my title from Kansas to Oklahoma because we still do have an extremely dangerous situation ongoing here. Which is really, honestly, I probably would just put the mile per hour in my title if this wasn't the actual tag for the severe thunderstorm warning. Make more off a recorded video? No, lives are definitely the biggest income for my channel. I make nothing on videos. I cannot crack the video algorithm at all. I mean, I could if I wanted to. It's pretty easy, actually. All you do is just take the worst case scenario from every model run, and then you just structure your video completely around that. Pretty easy, actually. But I'm just not interested in doing that. Live streams are easier because you are just live and you really don't have to say anything. The weather just does its thing. And, you know, if people are in the path, they tune in. And you don't have to really use any crazy language when there's nothing going on for people to tune in because they're just there to be safe. You know, you can be just completely accurate, no problems. And so as long as you're live and covering it, you know, people will show up. So that's why my live streams do a lot better in videos, because videos are just like, it's all clickbait and bullcrap for the most part. That's how you get the big views. Just been getting the smoke from Winnipeg. Yeah, there's been a lot of smoke out of Canada lately. Let's see if I can bring that up. Yeah, you can see it. There's also a couple of fires in Utah as well. We'll probably start seeing smoke, Tornado Explorer, eventually from one of these fires. Got this one over here near Santa Barbara, some smoke over there. And then we just got a lot of smoke pouring in from Canada. See just tons of little smoke underneath there. All that kind of like weird looking clouds, that's all smoke. Canada's still on fire. Yeah, you can see actually every single, a bunch of little individual fires here. Look at that. Wow. Yeah, it's been crazy up there in Canada. It's just amazing. You know, a place that used to just be kind of frozen most winter and would kind of thaw during summer now gets like 80-degree temperatures and just basically stays on fire for like the whole summer. Why is it EDS? Because it has 80-mile-per-hour winds inside of it. According to radar, which is an estimation, I do think they could bring it down to 70 miles per hour if they wanted to, but you know, we haven't had any reports, any observations of those winds. So, you know, I think they're just being like safe, better safe than sorry. Is that a rainbow? Look at that. Tennessee is nasty when it comes to pollution. Yeah, the Southeast. When we get those blooms, man, there's just so many pollen producing plants in the Southeast. Canada needs to take its smoke back. I wish it worked like that. I'm sure if they could, they would. Just the color of the clouds. So, you know, clouds are typically white, right? But when you get this like off color, you see how like this is like kind of like nasty white. Like you can tell there's stuff in that. And then when that's originating from these little squigglies that come out of here, you know, that is a fire. I don't know. I've been watching the fires for so long in Canada, in the Arctic, and I also watch them in Russia. Because Russia is kind of similar to Canada to where like when they start burning, they just burn all summer. And so we've just been getting just huge amounts of CO2, you know, if there's any permafrost underneath it, methane as well is dumped in the atmosphere because of these fires. And you can see these fires are kind of getting that smoke kind of getting pulled over here by this low pressure system, but we also have a high pressure system over here that's really kind of bringing that smoke actually more to the west. Yeah, it's pretty crazy just how thick that smoke is. You know, a lot. So there was this one time, I think it was the Russian fires actually, where a stream of smoke came all the way from Russia and into Canada and then into the United States. And in fact, this smoke over here is going to be making its way, I think, into like Ireland and England and Scotland eventually. So that's a lot of smoke. Ooh, little sunset happening. Look at that. Nice. Bye, son. See you again tomorrow. Don't be gone long. You just like August? Yeah. I love August until unless it's, I mean, if it's, August is good because it's like, it's that transition period from like summer into fall for most folks. So it's kind of like that breath of relief. Go look at the latest outlook on the temperatures. I am curious. What are we looking like? Okay, still gonna stay kind of cool here. Oh, looks like you guys up there are gonna be having lots of fun, and that's just not gonna stop for at least 2 weeks. Jeez. It's gonna warm. It's gonna warm back up. 80% chance of temperatures being above average here in Michigan, Pennsylvania, going to New York, Vermont, New Mexico, and Maine. I'm surprised this thing over here still isn't a tropical storm by now, to be honest. I thought they would have pulled the trigger already on that. It looked like the front was falling apart. It looks like we're still warned here for 80-mile-per-hour winds, now approaching Gate, Oklahoma, Roston, Buffalo, Oklahoma. Again, these winds are strong enough to knock out power, blow down trees as well. So if you live in any of these areas, I would consider being in your safe spot. It's going to be kind of like a weak tornado. It's coming through your area. Thanks, Canada, for the air. Hey, you'll be thinking them during, you know, October when you're getting those big cool downs. You know, yes, during the summer we deal with smoke from Canada, but as it, you know, all of our cooler air and the snow comes from the Arctic and goes through Canada. They shut down all air to the United States. We're not getting no snow. Need rain, not heat. Yeah. Yeah, the heat's been nasty. It's been so nice. This little bit of cooler air has been so nice. We just got an update on this storm. Still 2-inch hail, 70-mile-per-hour wind, still heading towards Kismet and the plains. And then Goodwell as well. Still potential up to 70-mile-per-hour winds and some golf ball-sized hail as this storm threatens to continues to threaten to move down to the south. Paigey still has a pretty cool view of her storm. Listen in. This is in Colorado. You ready for snow? Yeah. You know, after this long stint of heat, I'm ready for winter. I'm with you guys now. I was like, you know what? I don't care about the heat. But man, those heat indexes, man. Like, I wasn't able to go outside, like, at all. And it was like for a whole week.
Yeah, there's quite some hail in there.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think we'll let it come to us for just a little bit, and then we'll go down.
Not a fan anymore.
Like this.
Like, I like 80 to 90s. That's the heat I like. But man, when that heat index kicks in and you're like at 110 heat index,
So
I was like dying.
straight through this. And we'll look at this storm for a minute, and then we'll do that. as it
Probably
goes.
got like heat stress like multiple
It's
times.
moving west.
What do I consider cold air? I consider, like, for summer, like 80s. Like even like 90s if it's dry. I can handle that. Not too hot or cold, exactly. Oh, look at this. They extended this as 70-mile-per-hour winds. So they're downgrading this storm now. There we go. I would still watch out there near Woodward and Freedom. Also, eventually Wyanoka, Vitzy, and Sealing. But this storm is going to continue to be downgraded most likely all the way into the night. The environment's getting slowly and slowly less favorable. So I'm going to hop off. I do appreciate you guys tuning in. It's late. I need to eat. And yeah, I'm going to go eat. But I do appreciate you guys tuning in. Obviously, you guys, it's always fun to hang out with you guys. What else was I gonna say? Oh yes, another reminder. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central, we're doing an interview with the man with the plan Span, James Span. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central. And you can find that over here. That is Weather Brains. And it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a little bit rowdy. And yeah, I am excited. I don't think I you know, you guys know me. I don't hold back. So it's gonna be unlike any Weather Brains episode you guys have ever seen. Should I bring out
This voice during the live stream? I just might. But if you guys aren't there, me and Chaz are gonna be pissed.
You're sorry for trolling you 2 years ago with you living in Hawaii. That's okay. I'll take it seriously. But all right, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in. Again, stay safe out there. Power outages are still possible. They're a little bit less likely now, but they're still possible. Over here near Liberal, Kansas, could definitely get some big hail and some 70-mile-per-hour winds, so make sure you're indoors and away from the windows with that. And then also over here near Goodwell, Oklahoma. You guys need to be watching out for that storm as well, with some golf ball-sized hail and 70-mile-per-hour winds. Other places, just smoke and fires in California. Watch out over there near Clear Lake, California. Again, we have evacuation orders or warnings out over near Clear Lake, so please be fire aware out over there. We got another severe thunderstorm warning over here near South Dakota, going near Fort Thompson and Chamberlain. And yeah, we'll see if Dexter forms tonight. If not, who knows? We'll be monitoring this system to see if it'll actually form or not. And then this guy as well. So we got a lot of little things to watch. Nothing super exciting to report, thankfully. But yeah, I mean, it's August. We're getting closer to the peak of hurricane season, which happens in September, late August, going into September and October. So if we're gonna get a hurricane hit the United States, it's gonna be soon. So yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in. Oh, we need to raid. Who we gonna raid? Let's raid Pagey. We haven't raided Pagey in a while. Wait, guys, where are you going? Don't leave. You gotta raid somebody. What are you doing? What are you doing? Don't you want to support new channels? Huh? Wait, you're just leaving because you don't want to support new weather channels? Wow. You're not even gonna leave a like and a subscribe for them?
That's crazy. Not even gonna stay for the raid to support small channels? Teeny, itsy, bitsy, tiny channels? Oh my god, people are... Stay! Stay. And then go give Tornado Pagey and Bryce a like and a subscribe. Alright, see you, bye.